Hi, I'm Andrew Main, author of The Naturalist, which is a Kindle First selection this month, which means if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can download the Kindle version of this for free and read it before anybody else. But right now, I want to give you the 3 best pieces of advice I ever got as a writer. Number 1, this is the most basic writing advice, but it's absolutely true and it changed the way I write. Show, don't tell. Show, don't tell. This was given to me by Jeff Wallman, who was a friend of the family, an extremely prolific writer, and I'd given him some stories of mine to read, and they were kind of outlines. They weren't really stories. They were like, this happened, and this happened, and this happened. And Jeff pointed that out. He pointed out that I needed to show people. I needed to create the story in people's heads. In the movie theater of our minds, I needed to put all the elements in place for people to watch what was unfolding and not just say, this happened, etc. So show, don't tell. That's real advice. It really changed me as a writer. Number 2, make something. It's great to have ideas. Ideas are wonderful. It's where things start from. I keep multiple notebooks around me all the time. I'm using a notepad on my phone. I'm always trying to create new things, and they start with ideas. But ideas are just that. They're the genesis of something. They're not the something. And that's why you have to make something. If you're not making things, if you're not making books, if you're not making podcasts, you're not making YouTubes, you're just a person talking about doing that, which is basically what everybody else does. What you need to do is you need to produce. Yeah, it may not be the perfect form. You may start off in a place where it's a little bit rough, but you will get there by making things. And once you make things, the world can change for you. I went from a guy who bored my friends to death, telling them about ideas for stories, to finally locking myself down, not leaving my house, and writing my first novel. A year later, I was sitting in front of one of my favorite movie directors, talking to them about the story. Why did that happen? It wasn't because I had a great idea. It was because I made something from that idea. So make something. Number 3, audience, audience, audience. If you want your creation to succeed in the world, you need other people to want to champion it for you. And this means getting them to fall in love with what you've done. And if you're passionate about that, you're going to find an audience for it. I'm very fortunate that my agent fell in love with The Naturalist, and she went out there and she fought for the book and made today's success happen. It's basically, I owe it to her because I was ready to move on. What you need to do as a creative is start with a list of people you know, people who you've done favors for, people who like you, people who help you out, and build from there. I built out my audience starting with a few friends and kept adding people until I had a good platform in which to promote things. And anybody can do this. It may take time, but it's worthwhile doing this because when you have something you want to share it with the world, you're going to need ambassadors, you're going to need people talking about it. So that's what I have to tell you, my 3 best pieces of advice, which is show, don't tell, make something, an audience, audience, audience. And did I mention right now, The Naturalist is available for Amazon Prime members as a Kindle First digital download for totally free. So thank you. Check me out on Twitter at Andrew Main.